What's going on, everybody? I spent roughly about $2,800 so that I could save over $5,000 a year on coffee. Here's why. How's that?
This is way better than Starbucks, to be honest.
Way better than Starbucks? Basically.
Sorry, Starbucks.
What's going on, everybody? So, as I was saying, we spent a lot of money into purchasing this whole espresso machine and the whole setup, and mainly for three reasons, right? I love coffee. I've always been an enthusiast when it comes to making coffee, and I always wanted to learn to make espresso, right? And for the longest time, every morning I wake up and I have my coffee. That's just how I get, my day started. A lot of those times, even though I know that Starbucks is not the best coffee out there, I just couldn't resist, right? There's the whole feeling attached to waking up in the morning, driving to Starbucks and picking out a coffee. But I got three things that I just hate about Starbucks, and it's just always killed me. Number one is just the consistency. Like Starbucks, you guys need to improve upon the baristas you have in there and just making sure that the coffee tastes the same every single time. I mean, like, every now and then I go, you guys make the most amazing coffee ever. The portions are just right and it's really, really good. But then, you go the next day, the next time, and you're there and you're just like, oh my God, I can't wait to get my coffee. You're really looking forward to it. They give it to you, finally you taste it, and it tastes completely different, and a lot of times it tastes really, really bad. And so that was my big thing. Number two is just getting so expensive. Pili and I, or at least I would go get coffee for both of us, and we're roughly spending for the drink that I was getting and what she would get, $12 to $15 every single time we go and get coffee. And so when you multiply that by the number of times we're going, by the number of by the year, it's a lot of money, guys. I calculated roughly about $5,000 in just Starbucks coffee. And I mean, granted, I think I exaggerated when I came up into the equation, but still, it's a lot of money versus just spending it one time early on and then having that for years to come, right? And number three are just the ingredients. Like I said, I know Starbucks doesn't have the best coffee, right? And I never really know what type of ingredients they're putting into it, what type of measurements, and I'm keeping track of calories and I'm doing all these other things. Also been watching my health and trying to lose weight and all that stuff. And I never know how much they're putting of one ingredient, and what type of coffee they're using. I can make better coffee than this. I mean, come on, it can't be that hard, right? So to really see what the deal is, let's go to Starbucks right now. And let's experience this for ourselves. I know what I'm looking for when it comes to my coffee and the drink. Let's see how expensive it is, and let's see if they actually get it right. Let's go. You want to come inside? Check this out. Every time you want to come inside, Mama? Look at her tail. She wags her tail. It's hilarious. Hello. Look who was rolling.
Leave you alone for 1 second.
So she's been rolling in the dirt, and she's got this little thing. We think she's allergic to some of the stuff outside. We took her to the vet. They gave her a little pomade they were trying to put on her so she can get better. But she just loves to still go out there on the glass, right? Right? We gotta roll around the grass. Come on, it's time for your bath. Let's go. Come on.
It was an allergic reaction. Plus, she's having like really dry skin, like her daddy. So they gave us this, And supposedly we need to bathe her twice weekly for 3 weeks.
Twice?
This girl doesn't even like water.
We don't even shower twice a week. You probably already experienced this yourself. Like, you go to Starbucks, you're just in anticipation, getting ready to get that coffee, that elixir that's gonna wake you up and it's gonna allow you to do the things that you need to do throughout the day. You get the coffee, you sip it, and it's a total letdown. But we're gonna go waste money at Starbucks one last time just so we can see if they can get it right. They can redeem themselves. Let's find out. Here we go.
Ready to go.
Waiting in line, and normally I would get a venti americano with heavy cream, 2 extra shots with 5 to 6 pumps of sugar-free vanilla, and that was like my keto drink when we were doing keto. I honestly don't really want to order that right now just because it's a lot of money and I'm not gonna drink it. Right before I got the espresso machine, the drink that I had just fallen in love with was the nitro cold brew with sweet cream. So I'm actually gonna order that. And even that drink, it's like a grande cup. It's a $5 drink, and it's the stupidest simple drink. And I'm like, what? Like, I'm paying $5 for this drink? So here we are, there's one more car in front of us. We're about to order, and then let's see what we end up getting. The nitro cold brew with sweet cream, be venti peach green tea, iced. It's without lemonade, without the sugar cane. That'll be it.
Okay, your total's gonna be $9.42. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, you guys saw that? $9.42.
Do you need a receipt or anything today?
Nah, you're good.
Here we go. Here is the nitro cold brew with sweet cream. Here is that peach green tea made special.
Thanks, man. Appreciate
And
it.
you guys are all set, all right?
Yeah.
Have a good one.
You too.
Thank you.
So here we go. One time I actually went in there and I saw the guy actually getting ready to make the nitro cold brew. And I asked them, like, hey, what coffee bean do you guys use to create this? They're like, oh, nah, man, like, it's a special blend. Like, we don't sell it on the shelf. And I already know when they're making these nitro cold brews, they're not using some special blend. They are essentially just grabbing the leftover coffee that's already gone bad, and they put it all together, and then they make the nitro cold brew with that. Because with the nitro cold brew, that's the nice thing about it, is that you're not going to get that intense, like, you're not going to get the true flavor of the coffee bean. And so they're okay with just getting the trash coffee and just using it for the nitro.
Hey, what do you mean the one that went bad? Not bad, it's the one that's been used for a while.
Okay, so this is actually okay. It's not the worst one I've had, but I've definitely had better. But as you guys saw, we ended up paying almost $10 for these 2 drinks. This is a tea. It's not, you know, I mean, yeah, it's a venti, but it's just a tea. And this is, again, I already know it's not the best quality coffee. It's only grande, and this is by itself like $5. I don't know, man. It's just not. At long term, you're coming twice. We were coming maybe like 2 to 5 times a week, and it's just a lot of money.
And reason number 4, wife input here, that Luis didn't really mention, but it's really important to me just because we're trying to do a more zero waste lifestyle, is all the plastic that comes with it. Especially right now with Corona, I used to bring my cup and at least, you know, there was that. But even so, they still use it here to make it, and then they just pour it in my cup. So technically it's not really like they're actually not using the plastic, they're just not taking it home. But with Luis actually making these type of like coffees at home, we're not using all of this extra plastic. And tiny plus here too, I get all the coffee beans for like the grinded ones for my plants, which, you know, if you're into that, then you're gonna love that.
All right, so this is the milk that we use. We get it here at our local Sprout store. And oh my God, guys, this milk is amazing. All right, let's get out of here. Let's go home. Who's hungry?
Wake up for 10.
Who's making food?
Today she's getting the beef recipe. So she's having a really nice meal. Look at this. It actually does look like food. It has some beef, sweet potatoes, chickpeas, and a bunch of vitamins that she needs. Steak? She's like, no. She usually does steak, but...
All right, so we're back from Starbucks and we got the nitro cold brew, really got the tea. And I mean, it wasn't as bad as I've had it, but it definitely wasn't as good. And that was actually one of the main things as to how I wanted to start making coffee. I fell in love with the nitro drink and I wanted to learn to make my own nitro drink. And I ended up doing research and I figured that out. I ended up buying the tools necessary to do that. And then that kind of just steamrolled into buying an espresso machine and, you know, everything else, right? And so it's definitely been a really interesting journey into learning to make espresso, which kind of turned into this rabbit hole of buying specific equipment, buying, you know, different tools that would help me get the perfect shot. And I'll show you guys right now some of the different tools and the things that I've invested in just to kind of help me get that shot. But gosh, it's been really interesting into looking at different brew methods and kind of like the nuances, I guess I would say, in actually pulling the shot and experimenting with different recipes, experimenting with different types of roasts and coffee. So it's, you know, I spent a lot of time, probably more time than I originally thought, into figuring out actually how to make good espresso. And actually it was something that I kind of started to nerd out about, and I actually became very obsessed with it, to the point where sometimes I would just get really, really frustrated trying to, you know, dial in the coffee, getting that grind right. Because as you know, it's not just about having a good espresso machine, it's also about having a great grinder. But one of the things that I struggled with early on was just getting a consistency when it came to pulling the shot, right? And so I started experimenting with different things. At first I thought it was the grinder because I could just not get it consistent, right? I would do 18 grams in, and basically I would try to shoot for a 1 to a 1.5 ratio. So I would get 27 grams out, and every single time I pulled that shot, it was within 25 to 30 seconds. It was always different. Sometimes it was at 25 seconds. The next time I pulled it, it was at 35 seconds. And it was just driving me insane. So if you want to buy an espresso machine, just know that you are going to be going through these tough situations and trying to really figure things out. What I ended up learning was that not to obsess about it, to have fun with it, and to, at the end of the day, focus on taste. You know what's good coffee for you, and everybody is gonna have their own version of what good coffee is. And so as long as you pull the shot and it tastes good to you, then you're good. All right, so overall, investing in the espresso machine is probably one of the best things that we've done, and it's really given me the freedom and I guess the ability, right, just to finally be able to develop that skill, even though it was a little frustrating at times, right? And being able to wake up in the morning, get an amazing cup of coffee, right? Whether I'm making a cappuccino or a latte. And the experience has been really great. I think one of the most satisfying things about it as well has been when I have family over and I get to make this really great cup of coffee for them, and they obviously are super excited about. And so that has been, I guess, one of the most satisfying things, and really being able to serve people and giving them that satisfaction of really good coffee. Later, I'll do another video talking about the coffee beans that I use and different things like that. I actually subscribe to a coffee subscription. In the meantime, guys, if you don't want to miss any videos coming out where I'm talking about just coffee, tech, business, life in general, go ahead and make sure to hit subscribe. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to hit that like button, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye. Here's actually one of the nice things about this. Alexa, turn on the espresso machine.
Okay.
Ah.